Hi, welcome to today's episode of A Couple of Things. Today I'm chatting with my friend Dr. Seun Newton, and we talk about resilience, having to start over again, and sudden change in our lives. I hope you enjoyed the episode.
Hi. Today I have with me my guest, Dr. Seun Newton, as a medical doctor. And yeah, we're going to talk about random things. Let's see how this goes. Because as always, there's no preset list of questions or anything. We're just having a chat and a conversation.
Okay.
So do you want to introduce yourself?
Okay, I'm Dr. Seun Newton. Like my darling Ladia said, I'm Dr. Newton. I currently live in Germany. I'm learning the language. Privyet. That's not German. That's Russian. I just remember that's Russian. I used to.
Yes, my girl can speak Russian.
I don't understand how Privyet came to my mind and not hello. Yes, and what else again do you want them to know about me?
Okay, we can leave it there and we'll continue as we go along.
Okay.
But now that we started talking about Russian, why can you speak Russian? Why do you know how to speak Russian?
Okay, because I used to live in Ukraine. I lived there for 9 years, and I lived in the city or the state called Kharkiv or Kharkiv, depending on like the language or the pronunciation you want to use. But the thing about Kharkiv or Kharkiv is that it was very close to the border, so it was a predominantly Russian-speaking region. So even though we were in Ukraine, Russian was spoken more, and I actually learned Russian in school. I think maybe 2 years before I left, I think from 2019, when all this little tension started happening, the government now made it mandatory that everybody spoke Ukrainian, but I didn't know Ukrainian language anymore, so it was really difficult to actually, So in the banks, in official places, you speak Ukrainian, but in the streets, you speak Russian.
Interesting. Okay. That is very interesting because I don't know, first of all, I don't know anyone who speaks Russian. And then I don't know any Nigerian in particular who speaks Russian. So I found that very interesting when you first told me that you spoke Russian. I was like, what? That is so cool. Because me is only English and Yoruba and Bonjour that you know.
Even the Russian, I feel like I still don't know it enough. Like I wished I learned it really well. I didn't get to go to like an official language school. So what I learned was basically what we learned. We learned Russian as a subject. You know the way we learned French.
Yeah, the way we learned French in school. But that's still very impressive because I learned French for 12 years from primary school to secondary school until today. The only thing I remember is bonjour, comment ça va bien, merci.
And we are back.
Yes. So I was saying that I did French for 12 years and all I know is bonjour, comment ça va?
Yeah, it's different when you learn it as a subject and when you actually immerse yourself in it. I really wished I learned German, like Russian, the way I'm learning German now. It would have made a whole lot of difference. But well, I can understand Russian.
German, you speak German, you speak Russian, maybe not as well as you used to, but you still speak Russian. And now you have German, which you speak really well.
Yes.
And then, of course, English.
And Yoruba.
Are there any other languages that you speak?
No, but I want to learn French. Like for real now, I want to learn French. And I think I have Portuguese or Spanish on my mind, but for now, let's just finish this German that we're doing and get it settled, and then I'll move to French.
Okay, so let's go back. You were living in Ukraine for 9 years, and then now you're in Germany. How did that happen?
Are we allowed to say this on the record? Is Uncle Putin? It's Mr. Putin that brought us here. It's Putin, and it was due to the war that everybody is aware of right now. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So you moved from Nigeria to Ukraine, and then from Ukraine to Germany under different circumstances. Like
Yep.
your move from Nigeria to Ukraine was different circumstance from Ukraine to Germany. What about those two moves were similar for you or different?
Interestingly, because both of them were not really what I intended or what I planned. Like I got a scholarship. I was in Nigeria studying medicine in Osun State University. I was already in third year. And then all of a sudden, our governor said he was going to close down the medical school. And
Oh,
then, yes, I went to write and we were like, okay, what are we going to do? I think he asked us we should go to biochemistry, microbiology, and I think is it pharmacophysiology. I can't remember. Like he offered
the
three
options, yeah.
courses years in school. And I remember my mom was like, what do you want to do? And I was like, oh, I've studied this medicine. Let me finish this medicine. So I think I went to apply for JAMB again. But before that, there were like some talks with the school and because the governor was like, okay, we spent a lot of years. It was due to the accreditation issues. I was in third year, but I had like people that had spent third year 2 years and third year one extra. I don't even know how to explain it. So I was in third year, but we had people that have third year first set, third year second set, and I was third year third set, if you get what I mean.
Mm.
So they were
Like
in
you started at different points. But you're
yes,
all in third year.
yes, they couldn't cross to fourth year because you have to write MBBS one to cross to fourth year. But we are not accredited yet to write the exam. So they still remained at third year 2 years in a row. So I was third year,
Mm.
third year. And then I think I don't even know how the talks began. And it was like, can't we find other schools that could accept us in Nigeria? So I think that was even the first search that, okay, find other schools. And for some reason, all the other schools in Nigeria are like, no, I know the way Nigeria over admits people and then
Mm.
start weeding them off. So they couldn't take in all of us. And I think that was how the discussion was like, okay, can other schools in other countries accept? And that was how the search came. And then they found one school, our school in Ukraine. And before it was even only the fourth set. So there was people that spent third year, 2 years, and you get my the first set
Yeah.
and said that they were going to take. So we were not even part of them. But I don't even know, when God just orders your step. For
Yeah.
some reason, I didn't even go to write jump safe. I was already like, God, my life, see my life outside that third year, going back to go and write jump. I'd written jump, waiting for post UME. And that was how we just heard that for some miraculous reason, he has taken also. I think somebody went like, if you're already in third year, you're in third year. Like, why are you separating third years? Take all
Mm.
of them in third year. And that was how the journey to Ukraine began. So I didn't come to Ukraine out of my will. I didn't come to Ukraine because I didn't
Yeah.
plan Ukraine. So that's the funny thing that I've noticed that the two countries I've moved to, I like if you ask me, people used to ask like, how did you come to Ukraine? Like, I can't tell you how I came to Ukraine.
It
All
just
the
happened.
Yes, they asked all the things that embassy, they just asked us, submit your documents. I can't tell you all the nitty-gritty because I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
I, I only went for medical, like do this, do that, and then we got our visa. So then also Germany. I came to Germany on a train. Everybody comes to Germany with flights. And so I'm the worst agent that you can have because I have no I don't have the explanation of what documents to tell you. I don't know.
Yeah, like I think something that I'm hearing here that is very interesting is that both times where you have moved countries, it was like totally unplanned and not something that you even thought. It was not in your mind of, oh, I should move to a new country or I want to move to a new country. Things just
Oh,
happened that
yeah.
necessitated your moving.
Very, very fun. I even remember my Ukraine because the Ukraine, when we went to the embassy, they were doing very funny. So they took us in batches. So I think I even had to wait 7 months after my visa interview to get to Ukraine. I think my friend, a first had gone in December or January. I can't remember again. It's like how many years now.
Yeah.
And it was on more. I've been trying to learn how to bake things or do all these cooking things.
Yeah.
And I will like, if I start, they will now ask us. That I think that's the one regret I had. If I start, they will now call us. So I kept procrastinating. And one day, my mom was like, "You have said you wanted to learn this thing for the longest time. Lagos State is having this empowerment something.
Yeah.
Go and learn this baking." That Monday, I carried myself to go and register. I came back home on that Monday. Mommy, this is the receipt too. And she was like, your visa is ready. You're going to Ukraine on Thursday. I didn't rush me. I didn't bought anything. I had to rush.
Wow.
I
That
remember me
is
and my friends, like,
interesting.
we were calling, what did you pack? Did you pack Gary? Okay, I'll go and pack Gary. What did you carry?
Wow.
I literally had 4 days. I went shopping on Tuesday. I can't forget my Ukraine experience ever.
Okay.
My
So
mom had to send things to me because I just came like whatever I had in the house.
mm. So I want to ask a question around like sudden change, because you've experienced sudden change, right, in these two instances. And what has helped you in dealing with sudden changes in your life?
I will talk about the two of them because the two of them were different. The first one, I had my friends because we came together. Can you hear me?
From the school,
Yes,
yeah.
so in a way, yes, in a way. And I was quite young. I was 20. So I was still quite young and I was coming to the first change had a definite end. I was coming to complete my studies. Do you
Mm,
get? So there was an end goal to it. So even if I was unsure of things, then I had my friends, I had like my classmates that were. So we came to Ukraine together. We went through all the stress and all those things. So there was someone to actually lean on in that sense.
mm,
But this other one, it's I think one of the hardest changes I experienced because there was no like I was coming to Germany to do what? Like there was no end goal. There was nothing. I'm not coming to study. I don't like yes. But I think maybe what really happened that cornered me or steadied me this time around, like I'm not going to lie, it was immerse and God. But
yeah.
immerse is such a very, very I got to immerse 3 months before the war. So I think God just knew that this was going to happen because just being in that course and just being there and just hearing the ability to bounce back, the ability to
Mm.
bounce back, like you don't let things, yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
kidding.
resilience. So
Yeah,
before you continue, I want, for people who don't know what Immerse is the coaching community where we met in, and that's how we became friends.
yep,
And it's an amazing coaching community, and it has been very helpful for me as well. But okay, let's go back to. I'm going to come back to Immerse, but let's go back to like the experiencing sudden change and um, being able to, as you said, bounce back and be resilient in those experiences, especially when in the situation with like moving from Ukraine to Germany was not particularly pleasant as compared to moving from Nigeria to.
there was a gap here. There was a gap month. So it was Ukraine to Budapest, Hungary, and then from Budapest to Germany. So I didn't cross immediately because there was no borders. I spent 2 months after the war broke out in Budapest before I eventually decided that it was Germany I was coming to.
So
I
why
had
did you decide on Germany?
as a person of faith, that's totally that was God. It wasn't
Mm,
even my plan. I'm not kidding because my friend that is here, she came almost immediately. Like I think she's only spent a week in Budapest and she came to Germany. And then I saw that because when you're coming as a refugee, they took them to these refugee camps. They were moving from, they were sleeping in cubicles. And I was like, no, I'm not coming to where I don't know anybody. That was
mm,
like even for me. I wasn't going to go to where I saw how they were being stressed literally, and
yeah.
I'm like, I'm not coming to Germany. I'm not coming to stay in any camp. I'm not sleeping on the floor because already, even from Budapest, I saw how they were already asking us to sleep on one floor and stay in one camp, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing this to myself and to my destiny. So I tried a few places. I was going to go. I wanted to try the UK. I have family there, but UK, they're being funny. I also wanted to try Sweden. It didn't work out. I tried Ireland and I got that very strong sense not to go. So it was like,
Mm.
okay, where do you want me to now go? Like, what's happening to me? I even tried staying in Budapest. Like, okay, let me try and stay here. I even said the process. I'd go to the immigration to start something. I found one man that was willing to help me. And I'm like, okay, this is God. And I was already starting. I'd gone to the immigration. They'd given me the forms to fill. And then the man just ghosted me.
Oh,
I'm telling you, literally. And I was like, I remember writing in my journal, like, why are you blocking all the roads? Like, what is happening? What did I offend you? I literally wrote that, like, why are you blocking everywhere I'm trying to go to? Then I had an interesting dream one day. I had a dream. I can't really share that back here, but I had like a very
yeah.
interesting dream. I can share, maybe you can cut it out. And
No, you don't have to share. Just
okay.
you can skip to the
That's
part.
an interesting dream. And I woke up that morning and I just saw that because I think before Germany was like, if you because we are third country nationals, we are not Ukrainians. So Germany were like people that are not Russians or Ukrainians and they're called third country nationals. You can come to Germany up until May 27th. So they gave us that window. But me, I was still in Buddha. I'm like, May 27th is too like how can you find settlement in that short month? So that morning I had that dream, and then I woke up that morning and I was on those, we're on so many chats, so many Telegram groups, so many WhatsApp groups, so many things that everybody was just like, I just read Germany has extended their stay for third country nationals till August ending. And I just knew that Germany was it. Like
Yeah.
I just knew. And I started planning that okay, I'm coming to Germany. I had a friend that I met in the MERS that was already trying to help me find accommodation, Airbnb, and all those things. But my journey to Germany is another story entirely. Those months that I spent, I think I left, I didn't settle down. It was a lot of stress. I didn't settle down properly in Germany until August, actually,
That was
of 20.
after like how many months?
War broke out in
February.
February, and I didn't settle down like, okay, this is where I'm staying for a long period of time that I knew that was definite. I didn't have that settlement until August. I moved from one place to the other. I spent 2 months here, 1 week here.
Yeah. And that must have
Oh
been difficult, right? To not have a place to be like, this is my home, this is my
yeah,
house.
it
Wow.
was, and it was also difficult because I'd been so like I'd finished school 2017. I did my master's. I'd been in Ukraine on my own, don't get living my own
Yeah.
life since 2018, like doing my own thing as God was going to help me. So it was very, very hard moving with people. I think I struggled a bit having to not have my um autonomy. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Yes, it was a very huge transition. I didn't even transition well. Having to have to reach out to people where I could just wake up and just what I wanted to do. It was, I'm not kidding, it was hard. It was very hard.
Mm.
That was the hardest part, living to at the mercy of people. Yeah, I think
I
that was
feel
the
like you're at the mercy of other people. That can be very difficult, especially after having established your own life. Like
yeah.
you had finished your undergrad, you had done your masters, you were living
I
your
was
life.
working. Yeah. Yes, it was quite hard. And I was like, I have family. Oh, like, why is God even say I shouldn't even go to this Nigeria again? Like, I was even like,
I was
okay,
gonna ask you that. Like, did you consider going back to Nigeria?
yes, I actually did. And I remember praying about it because I'm like, I'm tired. And God was like, no, it's not yet time. But I'm like, because I even had a ticket. My mom's birthday was June of that year. But I'm like, let me just even go. Like, let me go. Let me just go. And I just was like, your work has not finished here. And I'm like, it's such a huge price to pay. I haven't seen my
Mm.
family now since 2015.
Wow.
And I was like, please let me just go home. I just want to go home. But I knew that okay, if I was going to go home, I was like, okay, what will I do at home? Because I knew that whatever country I was going to, I was starting again from scratch in that sense. I knew that. So it was like, which country is the best way to start from scratch? So
Mm.
if I went to Nigeria, I didn't really want to practice medicine, but that was like the low hanging fruit. So I
Yeah.
knew that I was so I was like, okay, if I'm going to Nigeria, I'll write IELTS, go to Nigeria, do the exams, do the internship, and leave in Nigeria almost immediately because I know that okay, I'm not yet ready to go to Nigeria yet because I still have some things to learn, if you get what I mean.
Yeah. I get what
Yeah,
you
so
mean.
I get what I go like, okay, yeah, it's not yet time. And I think what I learned is that Nigeria was the things I learned in these past 2 years. I don't think I would have been able to learn it in Nigeria because there was comfort at home.
Mm.
There
Yeah.
was comfort. I am not kidding because even this place I stayed one place. They said no. The first place I went to Germany were like, you're not Ukrainian, even though the permanent residents, you're not Ukrainian, go back to Nigeria. Then I moved
Mm.
somewhere else. They were like, they're sorry, they are full. Like they're not taking any more, even if you're Ukrainian, not taking any more people again. Then I was already tired. There was Portugal, and I was like, I just had just try one more. So I just go like, this is the one more try. One more try. I told my mom that if I was like, Germany, people should carry yourself, I'll go. Even, I know that God said Germany, but what if it's not now that God was saying Germany?
Right.
It was a lot. It was a whole lot. And I remember just saying, I told my mom because they gave us till August 30. And I think by July, August, I had not even still found what I was going to do with my life. And my mom, I think my sister's friend, she was like, come and just try one more time. I'm like, Holy Spirit, I'm just doing one more try. I told my mommy by August 13, if you don't hear from me that something has happened, I'm going to Portugal. And that was like I was like, that is it. I'm not doing it again. And the funny thing was that August 13 was the day I got that, okay, you can stay. And I look at the irony of things.
Wow.
Yeah, so it taught, I
Wow.
learned resilience. I learned that just try again. I learned that life will come. If I'd gone home, it would have been a different ball game because they wouldn't have allowed me to rest.
Mm.
Yes, everybody, even right now, I remember, let me even backtrack. I remember when the war broke out and it was very, very scary. Like where I was, we could hear like the beat. And I remember calling my aunt on Saturday because I was scared. I couldn't call home. Like I was so scared. If I'd called home like this, my mommy would have fainted. That Saturday was the day I felt like death can come anytime. It was so scary. And I called my aunt. I was like,
Mm.
tired. Like I was scared. She was like, I was already crying. She was like, no, don't cry, don't cry. So I was like, okay, I'm not crying. I was trying to put the tears back into my eye. I don't understand what I was doing now. That Saturday morning. She's like, don't you dare to cry. Don't cry now. And that night, when the like that night, Saturday night, I was just like, I feel I'm not kidding. I think angels had held the building because the way it was shaking. Aha.
Mm.
I was like, sure. My one of my friends was just there crying. I'm like, sure, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. So I was like, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. So it was
Mm.
on Wednesday after I got to Budapest. I was trying to make. I'd not eaten. I think I'd not. I were eating like we were rationing our food all through the period we were staying in Ukraine. I think I went to go and buy noodles and plantain or something. And I was eating, and they were already calling me from far and wide. What do you want to do next? What are your plans? What are these things? And I just started taking the first fork of noodles. And I was like, I don't have any plans. I don't have any
I'm
plans.
sorry about it.
Like, call this person, call this person. This auntie is calling you. And I was like, if my life just ended, I don't have any plans. Like, I don't know the next
You
thing.
just try to gather yourself.
And that was, I'm not, that was that Wednesday. Oh my God. It took almost a month to stop crying. That
Wow.
the moment the tears came that first Wednesday. And the funny thing was that my aunt that I called that day called me randomly that as I was eating, a call just came in. And I
Mm.
just broke down, like literally, like on the phone. I don't have any
That's your
plan.
tears that then it has released.
God just knew that it was the right person that needed to call. She was just calling randomly. I didn't want to even
Mm.
pick because I was like crying. I was like, I don't speak the call. I don't know. Everybody's asking me what's my plan. I don't have any plan. I don't have any plan. I don't have any plan. So I
Wow.
think if I'd gotten home, if I'd went home that year, there would have been so much pressure that I
Yeah,
was
to
just
do
doing the
something like
first
what are
thing
you
they
going to do
asking me to do. Yeah, yeah,
without
yeah.
like even processing what you had
Yes,
experienced.
yes, yes. So I think the 2022, 2023 allowed me to I cried. I did a lot of crying and asking because backtracking, my dad passed in 2020. It
Mm.
shook me. So I was just getting myself in 2021 when I even joined the message. I felt that God was even having his like, okay, life can continue. So I was already writing things, writing goals, writing like all the things that I paused during my daddy's
Yeah,
cancer sickness and his death. He was diagnosed in cancer 2019. He passed in 2020. So those 2 years, I just paused my dreams, paused everything. So I felt like I was just getting back on my
back.
on my on my
Mm.
feet, like, on my 2 feet, and I felt like, why are you unfair? Like how you just yank the rug? I be how like call that like how you
Yeah.
just yank. So it
So
took
you
a
just
while.
felt like everything was falling apart basically,
Yes,
just when you were starting to find your feet again, and then everything just scattered
yes. So it
again.
took a while to process that. I had to like go back. Like I don't feel like I feel like you're unfair at this point in track. Like did I offend you in my work? Like, is there something you're not telling me? No, I had to. So that those years, I call it my gap year. So it allowed me to literally, I healed. I healed from my daddy's death. I healed from the everything. I had time to cry. I had time to Do you understand?
To
Process it
process properly.
fully. Okay.
Okay. We're going like, I really want us to continue this conversation, but time is going. But to wrap it up, what is something like, what are like maybe 2 or 3 things that really helped you through with like bouncing back and starting afresh?
I would say three. I even have three that I can tell you.
Mm.
God, God, that relationship with God was very key, very, very key. Community, just inputting me in that right community, immerse and KGA, it helps. It really helped. I remember the one coaching call. I don't know if you have joined. It was cycle 8 coaching call. She was talking about emotional fragility. And she listed like 12 things.
Yeah.
DDK. I'm not lying to you. I think I could find myself maybe 10 out of 2. And I remember she was like, okay, my life has not ended because I was in that phase of saying, why me, why me? I was really in
Mm.
that why me state. And just hearing that even if things happen to you, you can bounce back. And like, okay, I'm going to come out of this, no matter how long it will take. If I have to crawl, I will come out of it. And then right community, and then friends and family. God sends people to me, literally even here in Germany, like I'm in a village, but I can tell that he handpicked them for me in
Mm.
this. I'm not kidding. I won't survive how I've bounced back, in all honesty, without these three things. The people that I have, one person that is on my matter, I just need to just call her or text her. It's done. Even now, before I tell her anything, I have to think twice. Can I
No,
get it? Can I get it done any other way apart from her?
yeah.
Because if I just say I have this issue, she has carried it on her head, and she's
Yeah.
German, literally. She has carried it on her head. I'll be like, I'm just telling you I have this problem. I'm not even asking you to solve it for me. I'm just,
Just
just sharing my heart
chilling.
with you.
Yeah.
But
I
she has
think
picked
that's
it.
very nice. And I think it's something you said as well about like how you settled in Ukraine, right? Like the people that you
Yeah,
had with you that helped you. So yeah, I guess at the end of the day, all we have is God and people.
to be honest. To be honest, no, God and people. That's
Mm.
the key. And then just having that right, yeah, the mindset. Once
Mindset
I
that you
feel my
can.
mind that yes, God allowed me to go through that process of yes, this is it. But I remember very one day was like, you are behaving like the children of Israel. Like you are behaving like the children of Israel. Like you are behaving. And he sent me to, I think somewhere in Numbers. It was like they were stiff necked and they didn't get to the end. I'm like, I'm very sorry, sir. I repent. Don't be stiff necked again. I'm not kidding. And that day it was a very
Yeah,
strong
I
one.
get. So
So yeah,
yeah.
but I flipped that. Okay, I'm not the last person that will go through this.
And
I'm not
Nina,
the
you
second
the
to go
first.
through this. Yes, once I flipped my mind, it's going to be hard, but I'm going to do the work.
Yeah.
That moment I flipped my mind that yes, we are going to do this. I think all the help I needed just came.
That is very great. And that is such a good note to end this on. Thank you so much for coming to share with us today about your journey of resilience and bouncing back and starting over. Because it's actually not easy to start over. And just knowing that the important things are to have that mindset that, you know what, like, as long as I'm alive, I'm going
Yeah.
to figure this out. And then also having your faith like as a place to turn to, and then having community and people that support you and help you through that process. Thank you so much. It was a great
Thank
chat.
you. And you can, I'm a welcome guest anytime. It was so nice to talk. We
Yeah.
can talk from now to like 1 hour. Let's
No,
just end it.
there's so many other things I wanted us to talk about, but this is a good place to stop. Next time we'll talk about the other things.
Don't
All right.
worry.
Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. If you would like to connect with Seun, you can connect with her on LinkedIn and Instagram as Seun Newton, and the links are in the show notes. I also put the link to Immerse if you're curious in the show notes. Bye! Hi! Please submit a question through the link in the show notes, and I will do my best to answer on the podcast. Bye! Thank you for joining me on today's episode of A Couple of Things. If you enjoyed this episode or found any part of it insightful, don't forget to share with your friends on your social media, and be sure to leave a comment or a review if you can on your podcast listening app. Thank you.